Have you ever heard the expression, a fish rots from the head down? You've been the chairman of the FDIC 10 of the last 13 years, haven't you? You believe you're the person to clean up the FDIC? Look, I could go through this report. I'm embarrassed to have to even read some of these. Did you read the part of the report where one of your supervisors described one of your young and female employees as being, quote, like a grizzly bear with tits? Did you read that? Did you read the part of the report where one young employee said her supervisor sent her a text? You know what the text said? Get naked, bitch. These folks on the first row behind you, are they FDIC employees? Would you like to turn around and apologize to the female employees sitting behind you at the FDIC?
I have, Senator.
Would you like to do that now?
If you ask me to, I will.
I think you should.
I apologize.
And now I think you ought to resign.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to America First, the channel where we stand for truth, freedom, and the values that made this country great. If you love America, if you believe in accountability, and if you're tired of corruption, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of patriotism in action. Folks, today we're diving into a video that has me fired up. Senator John Kennedy just tore into FDIC Chairman Martin Gruenberg during a Senate hearing, and let me tell you, it was nothing short of brutal. But the truth? It needed to be said. This is the kind of leadership we need more of in Washington. So, get ready, because we're about to break this down, America First style.
Senator Kennedy of Louisiana is recognized.
I hope Senator Al Franken is watching today. If it weren't for double standards around this place, there wouldn't be any standards at all. Mr. Gruenberg, have you ever heard the expression, a fish rots from the head down?
Yes, Senator.
I understand I listened carefully to your testimony. Do I understand you to assert that you believe you're the person to clean up the FDIC?
I do, Senator.
Do you also believe that Elvis is alive?
Not to my knowledge, Senator.
Do you also believe in Bigfoot?
No, sir.
Have you read this report?
Yes, sir.
You've been the chairman of the FDIC 10 of the last 13 years, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
And you've been there for 20 years almost, haven't you?
Nearly, yes, sir.
And this sleaze has been going on for decades, has it not?
I think the report makes that finding, Senator.
Did you read the part of the report where one of your supervisors described one of your young and female employees as being, quote, like a grizzly bear with tits, close quote?
I've read the report, Senator.
Did you read the part of the report where one of your supervisors asked a young female employee, quote, does your husband eat you? Did you read that?
I have read the report, Senator.
Did you read the part of the report where one young employee said her supervisor sent her a text? You know what the text said? Quote, get naked, bitch. Did you read that?
Yes, sir.
Did you read the part of the report where one of your supervisors turned to one of your Hispanic employees and asked him to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to prove that he is an American? Did you read that?
I read it, sir.
You're not going to be able to clean up the FDIC because you're going to be too busy defending yourself in court. I'm going to introduce a bill to extend the statute of limitations to allow every employee at the FDIC to file suit over the sexual abuse and the sexual discrimination and this racism. And you're going to be spending all your time in court. Now, the Cleary Gottlieb report doesn't think you're the person to clean up the FDIC, does it?
I don't know that the report reaches that conclusion, but it certainly has critical comments in regard to me, Senator.
Well, I mean, the FDIC report says that it says that even your senior leaders feel, quote, disrespected, disparaged, and treated unfairly by you. Did I quote that correctly?
Yeah, I have read the report, Senator.
And the Cleary Gottlieb report, it goes on to say that your long tenure and reputation for losing your temper and bullying people, quote, presents unique challenges, close quote, for you to change the agency. Did you read that part?
I have read it, Senator.
And the Cleary Gottlieb report also says it questions whether you have the, quote, moral authority to do so. Is that correct?
I have read the report, Senator.
Yes. You fixing this agency, Mr. Gruenberg, is like asking Alec Baldwin to conduct a course in gun safety. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. And Mr. Sue, you ought to be ashamed of yourself for acting like a lickspittle here today, trying to defend this gentleman. Have you ever read a worse report, Mr. Gruenberg, in all your years?
It's a bad report, Senator.
Yeah, it's bad. Look, I could go through this report. I'm embarrassed to have to even read some of these allegations. These folks on the first row behind you, are they FDIC employees?
Some of them are, Senator, yes.
Would you like to turn around and apologize to the female employees sitting behind you at the FDIC?
I have, Senator.
Would you like to do that now?
If you ask me to, I will.
I think you should.
I apologize.
And now I think you ought to resign.
All right, for those of you who might not know, the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, is supposed to be one of the most trusted agencies in America. They're the ones protecting your money in the banks, ensuring stability in the financial system. But here's the kicker. According to a jaw-dropping report, the agency is riddled with misconduct. We're talking about sexual harassment, racism, bullying, you name it. And who's been in charge for most of this mess? None other than Martin Gruenberg, the chairman of the FDIC. Now, Senator John Kennedy, Louisiana's finest, absolutely tees off on Gruenberg in this hearing. And honestly, it's about time somebody did. Let me play you a clip from his opening remarks, because this man does not mince words. Did you catch that? Kennedy doesn't just call out Gruenberg's incompetence. He makes it clear how absurd it is that this man thinks he's the one to clean up the FDIC. And folks, he's absolutely right. Gruenberg has been with the FDIC for 20 years. 10 of those years, he's been the chairman. And during his leadership, this agency has become a cesspool of corruption. Let me tell you something. If you've been in charge for 2 decades while this kind of garbage happens on your watch, you're not the solution. You're the problem. Now, let's talk about the details Senator Kennedy brought up. And I'll warn you, this is disturbing stuff. According to the report, FDIC supervisors have been making sexist and racist comments to employees. One supervisor texted a young female employee saying, "Get naked." Another asked a Hispanic employee to recite the Pledge of Allegiance to prove he's an American. And yet another described a female employee as a grizzly bear with tits. I mean, are you kidding me? Folks, this is the culture that Martin Gruenberg has allowed to fester at the FDIC. What kind of leadership turns a blind eye to this? And let's not forget, this isn't just a bad look for the FDIC, it's a betrayal of the public trust. These people are supposed to safeguard our financial system, not run it like some frat house from hell. And here's where Kennedy really shines. Instead of just venting about how bad things are, he's taking action. He announced that he's introducing a bill to extend the statute of limitations so that every FDIC employee who's been a victim of this disgusting behavior can get justice. That's what real leadership looks like. He's not just calling for Gruenberg to resign, he's giving the victims a chance to fight back. Let me tell you, folks, this is why I respect Senator Kennedy. He's not afraid to stand up to the bureaucratic swamp and demand accountability. And frankly, we need more of this energy in Washington. One of the most powerful moments in this hearing is when Kennedy looks Gruenberg dead in the eye and says, "You ought to resign." And you know what? He's absolutely right. Gruenberg has proven he's not fit to lead. Even the report itself says his long tenure and reputation for bullying present unique challenges to reforming the agency. In other words, the guy's a liability. Kennedy even asks Gruenberg to turn around and apologize to the female FDIC employees sitting behind him. And the fact that Kennedy had to ask him to do that just shows how out of touch this man is. It's embarrassing. But Kennedy doesn't stop there. He also calls out another official, Mr. Sue, for defending Gruenberg during the hearing. He calls him a lickspittle. And can we just take a moment to appreciate how perfect that word is? A lickspittle is someone who fawns over their boss no matter what they've done, and that's exactly what Mr. Sue was doing. It's pathetic. Let me ask you this, America. Why are we still tolerating this kind of spineless behavior in Washington? If you're defending corruption and misconduct, you're part of the problem. Here's the bottom line, folks. The FDIC is supposed to be a pillar of trust in our financial system, but under Martin Gruenberg's leadership, it's become a disgrace. The allegations in this report are sickening, and the fact that Gruenberg thinks he can fix this mess is laughable. Senator Kennedy was 100% right to call him out and demand his resignation. And let's not forget about the victims here, people who've endured harassment, discrimination, and bullying while just trying to do their jobs. They deserve justice, and they deserve a leader who will actually clean house, not someone who's been part of the problem for 20 years. All right, folks, that's my take on this explosive Senate hearing. What do you think? Do you agree with Senator Kennedy that Martin Gruenberg needs to resign? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to America First, and share this video with your friends. Together, we can hold these government officials accountable and fight for the America we all love. Thanks for watching, and as always, God bless America.